leadership of the B2B Fintech sits in an ivory tower, is disconnected from the world. The leadership thinks the salespeople are lazy.
Extreme ownership is everything is your fault. Any startup that has any person in an office, you are already going down the wrong path.
That camera is looking at you. You should look into the camera and tell her.
Some founders are not salespeople. Show me a wealth tech that started with product-led growth, I will fall off my chair. You think, build it and they will come. No one's coming. Your mum's not even coming.
If your product can close enterprise deal, you should get a Nobel Prize in some category.
Available anywhere apart from Antarctica. But 3 simple things. Your pitch deck, your story, and your CRM.
This episode could have been very different in a very parallel universe.
How many outreach are you doing? What is your volume? Are you storing it on your CRM?
How do you know the product is shit or the salesperson is ineffective? God bless you if you are a salesperson in that environment. Me Too product, no limited PMF, limited differentiation.
I'm going to sound terrible saying this, but
give you the right feedback without the fear of repercussions. Nobody anymore has the spine to give feedback.
Build in public, die in public. You know what they really want to know? Is how much does it hurt? Hurt some. Hurt some.
Thank you guys for coming back for part 3 of In the Grill with Digi Janis. We're still with Ned, and he has done 2 really amazing episodes. The first one, we're fixing wealth tech, very raw conversation, something I think everyone needs to hear. You'll love it, and for its whole boldness and rawness. The second part was where I put Ned in an imaginary position of running a digital transformation to deliver a 10x outcome for a customer-facing DIY investment platform. There is a growth problem in B2B Fintech, wealth tech, everywhere, right? Now, we have to assume nobody has watched the first 2 episodes because the audience for this is, very different. So, in the conversations I have with people, I have seen why there is a growth problem. The first most common thing that we lead to is the leadership of the B2B Fintech sits in an ivory tower, is disconnected from the world, did scaling too fast, product market is not fit, Me Too product, etc., etc.
Yep.
So we have to now we'll talk first about that, and then we're going to swing the pendulum the other way. And we are going to say, okay, you know what? The leadership thinks the salespeople are lazy. They are not following the process. And there are other challenges, etc. around that. And you do a lot of work with, so you would be able to define that even better.
Sure.
And then we are going to get in the middle.
Sure.
And we are going to figure out how both of these. So the idea is somebody watches this episode. They're saying, oh, you know what? Yes, that is my boss. That is my boss. That is my boss. And then everybody's seeing the other side.
Sure.
And they're like, that is my guy.
Yep. Understood.
And then they find a way to meet in the middle. Again, the intent is to bring back growth
Sure.
To B2B Fintech. So we should it should be like, the thumbnail should be like finding growth. And we should have like, you and I should be like Nemo colored clownfishes, and stuff.
Making it happen.
Yeah. Okay. Ned, let's start. Let's take the first assumption in this conversation. Sales teams are absolutely fantastic. No problem. It is a leadership problem. Growth is missing because it is a leadership problem. Let's start to talk about that. What is your thought? How are leaders today really disconnected from the ground reality of what it takes to grow an organization?
I'm going to assume that no one's watched the previous episodes.
Yes, we are going to assume that.
So to reiterate an idea that I have called, and it's not my idea, it's a guy called Jocko Willink. Jocko Willink is in the world of endurance. I come from running background, has this idea of extreme ownership. Extreme ownership is everything is your fault. Everything is your fault. So it's not the leader's fault. It's not the product fault. So that is my mindset to start. If a leader is disconnected, I don't think it's a startup anymore. Let's discount Jeff Bezos's, hey, I'm still at day one, because that's very nice to say, but Amazon is not a day one company, right? And any leader who is disconnected, this is no longer a startup, this is a corporate. That's my strong view. And I'll tell you how I can differentiate. So I'm going to give you a very practical example. If you are a startup leader and you have an office, you are disconnected.
Yeah.
Like physically. Literally, physically, and in reality, you are disconnected. Any startup that has any person in an office, you are already going down the wrong path.
That camera is looking at you. You should look into the camera and tell that.
If you have an office and you run a startup, close the office. I don't mean the office, I mean your office, and sit with the people. It's so clear to me because, I have been in a C-level position for 22 years now.
Yep.
I got very lucky. I got MD of E-Trade in Asia at 35. I'm now 58. So I've technically been C-level. Hey, I was a C-level at Bamboo when I started. Why? Because I started the company. It was only me. Let's go. But I've never had an office since then. You sit with the people as part of the people. And I know this is not wealth tech advice. This is generic advice. But again, to quote someone else, Simon Sinek, people might know Simon Sinek. He has a book called Leaders Eat Last. The leader eats last. If you put out a buffet for your team, you never eat first. And if there's nothing left, you just crack on and don't have lunch, right? And this is a very particular thing. If you've moved to a level where you have a great big corporate office, then you're a corporate. You take your salary, go home and watch Netflix. Life's fine. It's completely different. So number one stage is we have to fix that. Number two, if you want to fix it, now some founders are not salespeople. I get that, right? But let's just assume they're technical. I'm going to say once a day, they go out, whether you're a sales founder or a tech founder, once a day you go on a meeting with your salespeople.
Yep.
You just do it. You go on a meeting and you listen.
Love the advice.
Listen to what it is. Because if you're not, you are getting disconnected.
Great. So that is a self-check on getting disconnected.
Correct.
Now, very, very good point. Let's keep building upon this.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times what happens is founders can be technical founders as well. And when you are building a product, you're talking about it, you're meeting the industry, etc. Product-led growth feels very different because the opportunities are pre-qualified by the time they come in. And when you switch to sales-led growth, that feels a lot more different, and Gareth Richardson from Thought Machine was here, and he was very candid. We sung the...
Sure.
As somebody who has led both sides, right?
Yeah.
How do you identify that this is the right time to go into sales-led growth?
Okay. No wealth tech has product-led growth. None of you. None of you. Your product sucks. Your product's terrible. No one wants it. That's the basic assumption. Why? How many wealth techs nailed the product? Again, I keep coming back to altruist. Sure. B2C Robinhood in their own way. Different people. You show me a wealth tech that started with product-led growth, I will fall off my chair. It doesn't exist. Why? Wealth tech is incredibly hard to get right. And if you nail it, I will cheer you on forever. It is a sales-led growth. Here's a simple way to know. If your product was so fantastic, people would buy it. So why is nobody buying it? Because, and I'm going to speak to your camera, no one's buying your wealth tech. They're just not, okay? Why is nobody buying it? Well, there's two reasons. Number one, you don't have product market fit. But here's the actual reason. You know why? You can't buy something you don't know about. Like, it's literally impossible. Anything you've ever bought in your entire life, you knew about. You either saw an advert, you walked into a supermarket, and you normally buy that brand of, bread, and you caught your eye and there was another brand and you knew about it. When you build your wealth tech, you think, build it and they will come. No one's coming. Your mum's not even coming. No one's coming. It is sales-led. And if you're wondering whether it's product-led or sales-led, I mean, get checked, go to the doctor. Because you know why you know it's product-led? Because you get money when you're asleep. When you're sleeping, people are buying your product. So if you wake up and there's nobody bought your product, you have sales-led growth.
Yeah, and we no disagreements there. I once wrote on LinkedIn and I offended a few people. I said, if your product can close enterprise deal, you should get a Nobel Prize in some category.
I am with you on that.
Yeah,
we should have a Nobel Prize of sales, right?
Yeah. So if you are building a B2B enterprise solution, wealth tech, or it will need to be a sales-led growth.
100%.
You're a technical co-founder. You've been on both sides. You're a business guy, etc. Once you bring in the first salesperson, tell the technical co-founder, let's tell them, let's talk to this and say, how can the organizational be ready to support the first sales guy? What should be in place?
Sure. Okay. This is literally what I do now. Think of it like this. There are certain tools you need to sell. Obviously, you need a product. So I tell every startup that I help, I'm just going to assume your product is good. Not great, not terrible, just good.
Yeah.
Let's just go with that, right? You have a good product. Let's go. What else do you have? Show me you need a pitch deck. Show it to me. Okay, it's terrible. Why is it terrible? Because it talks about your features. No one cares. So do you have a clear articulation of the benefits of your product? Because if you don't hire a salesperson.
Love it. Keep going.
Number 2, do you tell your story and produce content so people can find you? If you don't hire a salesperson. Why? Because no one will find them. Number 3, show me your CRM. If you have Excel, you don't have a tool, you don't have a sales process, do not hire a salesperson. You show me these 3 things. Do you have a CRM that's usable? Do you have content that you tell? And do you understand the benefits of your product? If you don't, and you're so technical, you don't know what they are, first of all, we have to learn. And, obviously I'm not trying to sell myself here, but you have to find somebody who can tell you how to do that.
Yeah.
Because here's the biggest problem. Salespeople get hired, and then a year later they get fired. And they're like, he sucked. She sucked. She didn't sell anything. And I go and I chat to them. And so what do you have? He's like, we had a product that had 100 features. I didn't have a CRM. We didn't do content marketing. I was doing like 1 meeting a week because we had a targeted market. And I'm going to pour a bit of shade on myself. One of the problems we had at Bamboo is I sold so wide. Our second client was from Brazil. Our third client was from Saudi Arabia. At one point, we had clients in every single continent except Antarctica, and we built a sticker and we put on computers, Bamboo, available anywhere apart from Antarctica.
Yeah.
Because we thought we were clever. Our problem was we oversold and we would try to handle all of these projects. But our thought process was this: in a sales-led growth, we had built all the tools. We had an amazing CRM. We had amazing email marketing. We had a pitch deck that was great. I had my own podcast, right? I was doing Wealth Tech podcast. I don't know if you remember, I did a TV show. I had Wealth Tech.
I remember.
With
TV.
a little Bloomberg thing behind. And our idea was this. So when I brought in salespeople, they had tools they could use. People like, it was the one thing, and again, not talk too much about Bamboo. People like, I know Bamboo. Hey, if you're trying to sell Wealth Tech, you've got to get through procurement.
Yeah.
If the person in procurement's never heard of your ABC startup, they can take a lot longer to approve it. Why does people say it's easy to buy Microsoft? Because they know it. So our job was to make them know about Bamboo. But 3 simple things: your pitch deck, your story, and your CRM.
Absolutely. This should be in place. No disagreements. I, for one, cannot understand why somebody would not have a CRM. See, I'm a sales guy. I am not saying put everything into your CRM. But HubSpot for 2,000 clients is free. 2,000 contacts, something is free. You could use that.
100%.
As a B2B Fintech, if you get to a point where you have 2,000 contacts, that means you are at few $1 million of ARR revenue. So I wholeheartedly buy that, etc. By the way, your team reached out when you used to do this podcast. Your team reached out. I used to work for a competitor. So this episode could have been very different in a very parallel universe. You would have been here. I know. So, but I agree that you have to get the word out there. You have to help the customer discover you.
100%. That's a great way of saying it.
You have to solve the discovery problem before you start solving the sales problem. Now, once your first salesperson comes in as a leader of a sales org or somebody who's bringing in their first sales, how should you judge the success of your first salesperson?
So I think a lot about this, maybe too much. Obviously, I think deeply about fintech and wealth tech. So let's put this, but this is kind of, I'm going to say general growth advice.
Yeah.
Volume and velocity. What does that mean? Volume. The number of sales actions that person is taking. What is a sales action? A sales meeting, an email to a client, cold outreach, posting on LinkedIn, getting their name out, commenting on someone else's posts. Volume. velocity. How quickly an enterprise deal closes is based on the speed of reply from the partner. You mentioned earlier on that at some point, as the only salesperson, there's only so much you can do, right? If I have two, we should be able to reply to twice as much.
How do you know the product is shit or the salesperson is ineffective?
Because if there's only a tech and a co-founder, if you do 1,000 meetings, shut the company. There's no saving it. Shut it now, return the money. Whatever you've got, return the money, shut and get a real job. Why? Because it's very hard to square the circle. The tech founder will blame the sales guy, and the sales guy will blame, right? Let's make the assumption that the tech founder built a good product and the salesperson is good, not great. And if they're following the basics of benefit selling and 1,000 customers told you you're wrong, you're wrong. Shut it, walk away.
Does the generally what I am now seeing is there is a large number of players with limited differentiation and a Me Too product and limited product market fit. God bless you if you are a salesperson in that environment. But as a founder, because now we are saying we are still under the assumption the salesperson is perfect. We are going to get to that point.
Sure.
So now let's say you are the founder. How will you recognize you are in this, the three-way trap of death? Me Too product, no limited PMF, limited differentiation.
It's incredibly hard. You can't see, all the phrases. You can't see the wood for the trees. You're in the middle of it. You need someone to, you know what you need?
Yeah.
You need somebody who's a dear friend and a true friend to tell you, shut it now. Because if you've done 1,000 meetings and you said the sales guy is perfect.
We are assuming that right now.
Yeah, your product is wrong, and shut it and we'll go home and cry a little bit like I did and move on with your life. Because I'm not, if you did 1,000 and we're using literally these numbers, here's the biggest problem. I'm going to sound terrible saying this, but I say what I think. You have children, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just going to say this. Please don't take this personally. If I had known you when you had your little baby, right? And I had been a family friend and I'd come to your house because you had a new baby, you go, isn't it beautiful? And I would have said, yes, Lax, it's beautiful. Yeah. In my eyes, it's just another baby. All babies look the same, right? In your eyes, it's beautiful, right?
Yeah, I get it.
All babies look the same, right? Here's the problem with the founder. You see, my product is beautiful. Dude, it's just another product, right? Now, that's why it's so hard. You will do anything for your kids, rational and irrational, because they're your kids, right? Now, a product is less than a kid, but that is you need somebody to tell you. And I had a dear friend. He knows who he is. I don't think he's going to watch this. He knows who he is. And he told me, Ned, your baby is ugly. Not my kids, by the way, if you're watching this, my product, my bamboo. He said, Ned, you're building something that doesn't work. Stop it. And I didn't listen for too long. I'm assuming you have a perfect salesperson. Yeah, it's tough, but that's the reality. Because if you've done 1,000 and you smash your head against the wall for 1,000 minutes, and your customers told you, I don't want it, it's time to stop.
Yep. And we are going to switch to the other side of the pendulum. But before I do,
sure.
Ned, you brought up a very good point there, which is, I think this is not only for founders, but it is missing for everybody in the world right now. You don't have enough people who can give you the right feedback without the fear of repercussions. You don't have it.
You have to find it.
Because everybody is self-preserving.
100%.
You give some feedback, you can come across as biased. There is so many controversial angles to every feedback that you can give out.
Sure.
The world and the next gen is suffering and not improving because nobody anymore has the spine to give feedback. And this is as true, and I'm sorry if it offends somebody, but if you are offended, then you are exactly proving the point I'm making. As a founder, how do you build that network that can come and tell you your product baby is ugly?
It's very hard to find somebody to tell you that your baby, your product is ugly. It's very, very hard. I don't think there's one simple answer. For me, that one friend was somebody I've known for a long time, and I know he had incredibly clear views, and it took me a long time to hear him. One thing I would say, and honestly, I'm thinking about this a little bit on the spot. Find a founder, and I'm not trying to promote myself, but I've seen what's happened. So because I failed, so my answer to the question is, find a founder who failed. That's who you need. You know why? So when Bamboo failed, my dear friend said to me, I got called by tech in Asia, right? My company failed.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty beat up, kind of sat in my room at home. Yeah. And people in the industry knew, people in the industry knew, but it hadn't been. And Tech in Asia called me and they said, hey, we're writing an article about this. They're not asking, they're telling, right?
Yeah.
And he said, do you want to be interviewed? Yes or no? And the article was very kind. It said, hey, look, these guys tried hard, they made some mistakes, blah, blah, blah. You know what happened right afterwards? When I published that, it got a lot. I got over 500,000 views. I got lots of messages.
Give us a screenshot. We will run it when you're saying this.
Okay. It was a lot.
It would have been a lot. I saw that post was like a few thousand likes, a few 100,000. It would have been a million.
500,000 impressions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But you know what I got a lot? Founders who I didn't know calling me, and one guy said, Ned, I need to make a decision tomorrow to shut my firm or not. Can you just be on a call for half an hour? I have no one else to talk to. My partner doesn't understand it, not because he doesn't love his partner, but only founders. Like if you're in, he's like, can you, I just need to talk to you, man. I just need to. And I was like, sure. And I must have done 15 of those now, where somebody shows me where they're at, and they're like, can you just tell me? And again, the scar on the face, because people are like, you've been burned, yeah. I'm about to get burned. You know what they want to know? You know what they really want to know? Is how much does it hurt? They know. I think a lot of people know when to shut it. You know what they want to ask? How much does it hurt, Ned? Hurt some. Hurt some. You know about that? It hurts some.
Yeah.
But I think and I will say to any founder out there, if you're listening and you don't know and you think in your gut that maybe it's wrong, find me or find a founder who's either failed or succeeded, but maybe who's failed. It doesn't hurt as much as you think. It doesn't.